I have a nephew who works as a cemetery watchman, and I once asked to go on night duty with him. I was more interested not in the duty itself, but in the mysticism that could happen in the cemetery. I took all the essentials: a flashlight, my favorite knife, my camera, and, of course, a trio of sandwiches. Duty didn't start until 7:30 in the evening, but I got there early and looked around. There were a great many graves in the cemetery, both new and old, and even very old ones, such as those from the 18th century. But now the time had come, and the duty began. At first everything was quiet. My nephew and I went into the gatehouse and started playing cards. The gatehouse itself was small, square, with almost nothing in it: some old bunk bed, a table by the only window, and a small cupboard. I mounted the camera outside near a window. Since the lens of the camera was wide, it saw quite a lot. So here we are, looking out the window and playing cards. It was already late 10 o'clock at night. My nephew, as well as all the guards of that cemetery, went to bed, and I was sitting there waiting for something unusual. I don't remember how long I sat there, until 11 o'clock in the evening. Nothing strange happened, and I decided to go to bed. I lay awake for about 10 minutes. Suddenly I heard a strange rustle somewhere near the entrance. Then there was a sound like something falling. I thought it was a camera and went outside. The camera was on the ground, but I remember I'd secured it well. Okay, I'll take it with me to the house, I thought. I put the camera on the table and sat down next to it. But suddenly there was another rustle, followed by the sound of someone scratching at the door. I jumped up and locked it. It was still scraping the door, but after 10 seconds it tried to get in the house. I saw the knob itself go down and up. Apparently this made it angry, and it started growling, but it was a very scary sound, similar to a normal growl, but very low and long. I was very frightened and woke up my nephew and briefly told him everything. He believed me, as he had heard the sound himself. We tried to see something from the window, and it was a black and tall silhouette. I took a flashlight and tried to illuminate it, and the ghost tried to get away from the light with terrible screams. When he left, I looked at what was on the camera and was horrified. Under the light of the moon, it was visible that this black silhouette was slowly approaching the camera, and when it came close, it started to look with its terrible eyes directly into the lens. I couldn't stand it and turned it off. My nephew and I decided to turn on the lights outside by the door and inside, and slept peacefully until morning. I got up at 11 o'clock. My nephew got up earlier. I gathered all my stuff, went home faster, but when I opened the door I saw it was all scratched up. I'm not going to the cemetery for adrenaline anymore.